Hi guys, I'm Lee from Ignite Your Being, and today I'm going to take you through a hip opening session. So we ideally need a belt, 1 or 2 bricks, and you could use a towel, a blanket, you could use a book if you don't have bricks. So what I would like you to do to begin with is let's just take a moment to sit quietly, just to center ourselves. So find a comfortable position, whether that's seated cross-leg position, you could sit in Tadasana where you put one foot in front of the other, or you can be in a kneeling position, whatever feels comfortable. And just take a moment to close your eyes, connect to your breath, and just take a soft inhale through your nose and a soft exhale through your nose. And with your inhale, encourage that lift through your spine from your seat bones to the crown of your head. And with your exhalation, feel that you can soften and relax, particularly around your neck and your shoulders. And just see if you can let go of the thoughts in your head just for a moment. And just connect to those subtle movements in your belly and your chest as you breathe. Just taking 1 or 2 more breaths, feeling that you can bring yourself to center for your practice. And then just opening your eyes, we'll begin by laying down today. So just take yourself down into a Supine Tadasana, where you're going to stretch away into your feet, stretch away into your arms, really feel long through the body. Maybe take a reach with your right hand, a reach with your left hand, feeling that subtle side stretch in the body. And then releasing your arms, take hold of your belt. Raise your right leg up, put the belt around the ball of the foot for Supta Kanasana. So to begin with, push the belt away. And then your aim is to straighten your lifted leg. Now if you have tight hamstrings, your leg may be further away. If you're a little bit more flexible, your foot will be a little bit more towards the ceiling. Whichever place you're in, aim to open the back of your knee fully. So feel like you're pushing your frontal thigh away, roll your shoulders back, open your chest. And also see that you're active with your lower leg. So pushing down into the left thigh, pushing away into your left foot. Pause for a moment, taking a breath. And then at whatever angle your lifted leg is in, keep it at that position. Take hold of the belt in your right hand, take your left hand out to the floor for support. Now you're going to allow your leg to come out towards the side. You can bend your elbow, place your elbow on the floor, and your aim is to keep your chest and your hips facing the ceiling. Push your way into the belt with the ball of the foot and just feeling the openness around your hips and maybe that stretch in your adductors, your inner thigh muscle. Again, just take a couple of breaths. And then with an inhale, raise that leg up. Swap hands, so left hand holds the belt, right hand goes out to the side for support. And then you're going to take your foot towards the left. Now as you do, don't let the whole body roll. Again, see if you can keep your chest and your hips facing up towards the ceiling. Push your way into the ball of the foot and just feeling that stretch around your right outer hip, around your glute, possibly even into your ITB. Just pause there for a moment, still active in your left leg, active in your right leg. And then raising that leg back to center, give that knee a bit of a hug. And then let's do on the other side. So swap the belt onto your left foot, around the ball of the foot. Take the foot up to whichever position allows you to feel a stretch in your hamstrings. So don't over push, just go to that point where you feel that stretch. You can open the back of your knee so your leg is straight. And then for those that are a little bit more flexible, you may be able to bring your toes a little closer towards you. But always just being aware and feeling that stretch on your hamstring. Don't push. Still be active in your right leg, so right thigh pushing down, right ball of foot pushing away. Roll your shoulders back, open it through your chest. And again, whatever angle this leg is at, Keep it in that position. Hold with the left hand, right hand out to the side for support. Carefully with control, take your left leg out to the side. At this point, you can bend your elbow for support. Push away into the ball of your foot. Keep your chest, your hips looking up towards the ceiling. So you should be feeling an openness around your hip, possibly a stretch in your inner thigh. Take a couple of breaths. And then with control, bring that leg back to center. Swap the belt to your right hand. Take your left hand out to the side. Start to take this leg across your body. Push away into the ball of your foot. Now this left sacrum bone will lift. Just try not to let your whole body roll. Aim to keep your chest facing up towards the ceiling, actively pushing away into the ball of your left foot, feeling this stretch on the outer surface of your left leg. And then bring that leg back to center. Give your knee a little bit of a hug. And then you can release that leg and you can come up. Now we're going to come into a bit of a half frog position, okay? So you're going to be on your right knee and you're going to stretch your left leg out, okay? Now you're aiming to create a distance, or the biggest distance you can, between your knee and your foot. So just wiggle your knee out and you can bring yourself down onto your forearm. So if I show you from the side, you will be in this position and you're just going to gently rock backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. Just working into that hip a little. And then just holding in that backward position, feeling that stretch in your inner thigh of your left leg, possibly a little bit of a stretch around your right hip too. Now easing off, keep in this position. I'm just going to scoot back to the front so you can see. But instead of having the longest distance between your knee and your foot, just shorten that distance a little. So you will have a slight slant on this leg, but it's not as deep. Now your hands are going to be on the floor this time. You're going to keep as active through your body as you can. Squeeze your left leg and lift the left foot off the floor. So again, squeeze and lift that leg. Now as you do it, try and keep your body as still as possible so you're not just pushing everything out to the side. So squeeze and lift, squeeze and lift. Okay, let's swap sides. This time you're going to be bent, left leg bent, right leg out to the side. Find your distance between your knee and your foot. Come down onto your forearms and exactly the same thing. You're going to gently rock back, gently rock forward. Back and forward. Back and forward. That's it. And then just hold in that back position. Feeling that stretch in your inner right thigh. Pause. And then release. So bring your knee a little closer towards your foot. Be on your hands this time. Now as you squeeze and lift your right leg up, see that you're really pushing down into your right hand for a bit of stability. Squeeze it up and down. Keeping your body as still as you can. Last one. And down. They're always fun ones. Now we're going to do your full frog. So you're going to widen both knees and then your feet. Ankles are going to be in line with your knees. Your feet are going to be pointing outwards to the side. From this position, come down onto your forearms. And then, just see if you can smidgen your knees a little bit wider apart. And again, gently rock back and forwards. Now, you may feel like you don't get much movement in this position. Just go to where you can. Easing back and forth. Back and forth. And then just holding in that back position. Pushing back as much as you can, feeling that sensation around your hips. Take a couple of breaths, soft and relaxed. Good work, guys. Release. The easiest way to come out of the position is to bring your feet towards one another, tuck your toes, bring your knees together, and then just place your feet on the floor and gently roll yourself up to standing. All done. Okay. Now just bring yourself onto your mat, Supine Tadasana for a moment. So see if you can spread your toes, feel that you can ground down into your mat. Activate your quadricep muscles away from your kneecaps. Now stretch into your fingers, feel tall through your body. Just take a breath, find your center. Now from here, take your feet nice and wide. You're going to turn your toes out. So your knees are going to track over your feet and we're going to take a goddess squat. I personally like to bring my hands out in front for a bit of balance. Now your bum is going to go down, you're going to pause, squeeze and push your knees out towards the side, make your glutes work. Now lift yourselves up and then again, down, pause, push your knees out, really use your glutes, be stable on your feet, bring yourself back up. One more time, down, pause. Squeeze out. Now see if you can pause here. Can you go any lower? And then just gently rock side to side to side to side. One more if you can. All done. Bring yourselves back up. Now turn your feet to face forward. Even in ever so slightly so you're a little bit pigeon-toed. And feel that you can press down into the outer edges of your feet. As you press down, you should feel either your adductors squeezing a little to feel that active sensation at your hips or your hips drawing towards one another. Now hands at your hips, lift your chest, fold forward from your hips and bring your hands either down onto the floor if your hamstrings will let you, or you could use your bricks to give yourself a little bit of height. Okay, so wherever you are, be on fingertips to begin with and feel that you can get your spine nice and long. So if I show you from the side, lots of space between hips and armpits. Now keeping your hips over your feet, can you take your hands forward and just feel a little bit more length in the side body? Reach into your fingertips and then keeping that length, draw your hands back in line with your feet. Allow your head to relax down, your body to be long, but your seat bones to be raising up towards the ceiling. Keep active in your feet. Keep your quadriceps active away from your kneecaps. Take a few breaths. Now lifting back to a flat back position. Place your left hand into the center. You're going to raise your right hand up towards the ceiling. Now push the ground away as you reach into your right fingers to take a twist. Roll your right shoulder back. Open up through the right side of your chest. And then swap hands. Right hand down, left arm up. Push the ground away. Open up through the left side of your chest. Reach into your left fingers. Pause and breathe. Okay, take your hand down and then just heel toe your feet in. Roll yourself back up. Join your feet back into Tadasana. Okay, now we're going to come to a down dog. So bring yourself down onto all fours, spread your fingers, tuck your toes, lift off your knees and just keep your knees bent to begin with. Now your aim is to get some lift through your spine. So push the ground away, try and get as much length from your hands towards your hips as possible. Really feeling like you can lengthen through your lower back. Maybe take your heels down one at a time to lengthen through your calves. And maybe take a little bit of a sway in your hips. And then just find your point and see now, can you straighten your legs? If you've got super tight hamstrings, you can always have a little bend, that's no drama. Extend through your spine, lengthen through your legs if you can. Now you don't by any means need to bring your heels to the floor, but a direction, see if you can put more weight into the balls of your feet and just see if your heels will come a little closer to the floor. Now step forward with your right foot. Come to a lunge position. Just have a little bit of a move around to get some openness in those hips. Now left hand down, right hand towards the ceiling, taking another twist. Squeeze your right glute, push away into your left foot, reach a little taller into your right hand. Now lower your hand down, step your right foot slightly wider and just see if you can lower down towards a lizard. So you may just have your arms bent, some may be able to come down onto your left elbow, you may even be able to come down onto your right elbow. See where you're at. You can always use a brick to give you a little bit of a prop if needed. And then holding in this position, maybe have a little rock backwards and forwards, feeling that you can push out a little into that right knee, maybe even do some little circles with that right knee. And then place your hands down, step back for another down dog. So position your feet, you can always bend your knees again if you'd like to get that lift up through your spine, then maybe see if legs can straighten, and then see if you can get a little more weight into your feet, lowering your heels a little closer to the floor. Left foot steps forward for a lunge. Have a little movement backwards and forwards. And then right hand stays down, left hand to the ceiling, push away into your right foot. Squeeze your left glute, reach into your left hand. Pause and breathe for a moment. Now bring that hand down, wiggle your left foot out slightly to the side and see if you can lower yourself down into a lizard-ish position. That could be one arm down, it could be being on a brick, whatever works for yourself. A little bit of a rock backwards and forwards, maybe a little bit of a circle into that left hip. Okay, hands back down, step back for one more down dog. Lift the hips high, lengthen through the spine, and then walk your hands towards your feet. Let's just take a ragdoll. So you can bend your knees as much as you need to. Either just let your hands relax on the floor or fold above your elbows. And you can rock from side to side or you can just keep still. And just see how much can you lift your seat bones up towards the ceiling, straightening your legs a little if your hamstrings will let you. Then from here, you're going to lower your bum down into a squat. So you may need to widen your feet depending on your squat position. If you struggle with a squat, then you can always be on your toes with your heels lifted. Just find something that works for yourself. Okay. From here, left arm pushes against left inner knee. Take your right arm up towards the ceiling, take a twist. As you reach into your fingers, just gently pushing against your knee to get some openness and a twist. Swapping arms, right arm against right leg, left hand up towards the ceiling, gentle push, open up. And then release. Now just bring your weight forward for a moment. See if you can bring your feet a little closer together. Now at this stage you may need a bit of a height for your heels. So just try and find something appropriate. So this time your inner feet are together. Your knees are going to go out wide for a bit of a malasana squat. So if you can get your heels down onto the floor, you can always be in that position on the floor. Stretch forward into your fingers and then aim to reach your fingers forward, but also keep your bum lengthening away towards the mat. Pause, allow your body to release a little closer to the floor. And for those that can, you can take one arm underneath, the other arm underneath. Maybe find your hands on the floor behind you, or you can even interlace your hands. And then just see, can you fold your body forward a little? Now my feet tend to get a little light in this pose, so it's much better for me to be on a height. So just see what works for yourself. Once you're in the position, squeeze your legs in towards your body, round yourself forward into a forward bend. And then release. Place your hands on the floor, draw your knees together, roll yourself up to come to standing. Okay. Now, I would like you to take your brick. You're going to sit on your brick. You're going to bring your right leg in close into a squat type position. Your left leg is going to go out nice and straight. So, the foot turns out slightly, your knee turns out slightly. We're going to look at the straight leg. And I'd like you to just internally and externally rotate this leg a little. It's not going to be a big movement. Just want you to try and get that sensation that your leg can turn in and out from the top, where your leg comes into your hip. Okay. Then looking at your bent leg, you're going to bring this knee down towards the ground in internal rotation, and then you're going to squeeze your glute slightly. See if you can push the knee away. Bring your leg down in internal rotation. It doesn't have to come to the ground, just go to where you can. Squeeze your glute, push out. One more time. In, and then squeeze it out. Now, bring your right heel in as close as you can towards your bum. And I'd like you to lean your body weight forward. So there's a lot of pressure down into your foot. This does require quite a bit of ankle mobility. Push down into your left heel, reach your hands forward, and can you push and lift your bottom off your support and then pop back down. You may or may not, it doesn't matter. Just aim to get your weight forward. If you get lift off, you get lift off. If you don't today, it doesn't matter. One more time if you can, and release it down. Okay, let's swap sides. Left foot in into that squat position, right leg out nice and straight. Your thigh, your knee and your foot looks up to the ceiling. First of all, straight leg, internal, external rotation. So it's not just about turning your foot. Try and feel that the movement is coming from the top of the leg. It may be quite minimal, that's not a problem. Just finding that connection and just getting that sensation. Coming back to your bent leg, internally rotate to where you can. Come back up, squeeze your left glute to drive your knee out. Internally rotate, squeeze your butt, drive your knee out. One more time. In and out. Okay. Bring your left heel in close. It makes it easier. Lean your body weight forward, pressing down into your heel, pressing down into your left foot. See if you can push your body weight forward and get your bum to lift off your block and back down. If you can't get lift off, it's not a problem. You just lean forward, get that weight forward. Last time if you can, and sit back down. Okay, now you're going to bring your legs back together. You're going to roll yourself back up to standing, and we're going to have a go at doing a Cossack squat or Skandasana from the top part. So you're going to come back to the position where your feet are pointing outwards, but this time, instead of taking our bum straight down, we're going to lunge slightly over the right leg. So you let your knee come over your right foot. You start to come down towards the ground. Now you just go to where you can. This could be you. You may be able to get your hands down. You may be able to keep this heel down. You may be able to turn this leg so the thigh, the knee and the foot looks up towards the ceiling. So we're in that crouched position. Before we were sat on a brick. This time we're just in that position without support. Now to come up, you can either use your hands into the ground or you can push the ground away, squeeze your butt to bring yourself back up. Let's try it to the left. So left knee tracks over left foot. You start to bring yourself down. See where you can come to. It doesn't matter where you're at, just play into it. Maybe turning this leg. Maybe bringing your calf as close to the back of your thigh as you can, sitting down. Either use your hands or push and squeeze to lift back up. One more time each side. Over the right leg, bring yourself down into whatever position you can. With or without your hands, bring yourself back up. Last time, over to the left. Sit yourself down to wherever you can and push yourself back up. Well done. Okay. Now we're going to bring ourselves down to a seated position. And you're going to take your legs nice and wide in Supta Kanasana. Now, when you sit in this position, if you struggle to get the lift in your spine, if you're sitting and it's a little bit collapsed, you are better off sitting on something, whether that's a brick, a towel, a blanket, a book, just something to help get your lower back to move forward and get this lift in your spine. So just choose whatever you think you need. Take your legs as wide as you can, provided they feel comfortable. And take a look at your legs. Your thighs, your knees and your feet should be looking up towards the ceiling. Sweep your arms up towards the ceiling. Inhale, look up if that feels okay on your neck. And encourage that lift from your lower belly, from your lower back. Now see if you can fold yourself forward. Bring your body weight down. My floor drops away here. I'm going to put my hands down a little bit lower. Now keep your legs active. So your thighs, your heels are pressing into the floor, and you're aiming to keep that length between your hips and your armpits. So if you're a little bit tighter in your hamstrings and your hips and your adductors, you may well be a little bit higher up. That's fine. Keep that pressure down in your legs. Work on that length through your spine and through the side of your body. If you're a little bit more flexible, then allow your body to come down a little lower. Just go to wherever you feel today. Take a breath or two, and then just gently bring yourself back up. Now we're going to take a twist to the right. So keep your left hand in front, take your right hand behind you. Inhale, lift, exhale, rotate your body towards your right leg. You may want to take hold of your leg now with your left hand. Encourage your body to rotate a little more. Now as you're turning your body to look over the right leg, don't forget about this leg that you can't see. Keep pushing down into your heel, down into your thigh, and just turn your body. Now, keeping this twisted position, can you start to fall forward a little bit? Now, as you fall forward, you can start to bring your hands either side of your leg. For some, it may look a little more lifted. For others that maybe have a bit more flexibility in hamstrings, you can bring yourself a little lower. Just go to wherever you can today. Take a breath. Bring yourselves back up. Let's go to the other side. So right hand in front, left hand behind. Inhale, lift. Exhale, rotate towards your left leg. If you'd like to use your right hand to get an extra bit of rotation, then please do. Now keep active in both legs and then see. Can you hinge from your hip? Allow your body weight to come forward over that left leg. Try not to forget about your right leg. As you fold, just to where you can today. Taking a couple of breaths. And again, bring your body upright. Now keeping your legs wide if you feel you still can. We're just going to activate your hip flexors a little. So these tend to be quite hard. You're going to turn your body to look towards your right leg. We're going to do a few hip compressions. So ideally, eventually, we're bringing our hands as close towards our feet as we can. This is going to be harder. To make it a little bit easier, your hands are going to come a little bit further back. The idea is we're going to pick this leg off the floor by using your hip flexor. So either lift up and down, or lift up and do some little pulses. Just have a little play. It tends to be a bit of a crampy pose, okay? Often we are quite tight and weak in our hip flexors, so really good ones to do, but they can be a bit troublesome at first. So just persevere, see what you can do today, whether it's just an odd lift or whether it's a few pulses. Let's switch to the other side. Okay, so either lift and down, a lift and down, or some little pulses. And just experiment. How much can you take your hands forward, or do you need to lift yourself a little bit more upright? Whatever works for you today. Okay, your hips are probably going to feel like they've worked. One more thing to work them a little bit more. Well, to allow them to release a little bit, I guess. So we're going to do Supta Kanasana. So for this one, you're going to take your belt around your body. We're going to join our feet into Supta Kanasana, your butterfly pose. So your soles of your feet come together. Now you bring your belt in between your legs, wrap it around your feet, and pull the belt towards you just to tighten it up, just so you feel some support there, but don't go crazy and truss yourself up too tightly. Try not to have the buckle on your flesh because that can be quite painful. And then with your belt, just take your thumbs into the back of the belt and draw the belt down so it's across your sacrum and not across your waist. And then you're going to just gently lower yourself down towards the floor. Now the idea is you push your feet away to lengthen your lower back and you allow your legs to release out towards the side. Now if you do have quite tight hips, this can feel quite strong as the gravity allows your knees to release down. So if that is you and you feel like you need a little support, you have your bricks, you prop your bricks close towards your hips, and that just takes a little bit of that heaviness out of the posture. So from this position, allow your chest to open, release your shoulders away from your ears. Push your feet away from you and just allow your body to relax. Just connect once again to your breath, taking a soft inhale and a soft exhale through your nose. Encourage your hips to relax with each and every exhale. Now you can choose to stay here for as long as you wish. Thank you for practicing with me today, and I hope to see you again soon.